Well, look at that treasure. I got a couple of them. There's a pull trailer over there. That's got all the walking beam and wheels and everything on it. This one's a little less beautiful. And that one's a little less beautiful. But you know what I really need? Is I need an axle that's wider than that. And look at these. These are flat. I think I can just put a piece of I-beam straight across there and tie that thing so that instead of being 4 foot wide inside, it can be wide enough to carry something like a sea can, like the one over here. Like those. See, they're 8 feet wide, but when you want to lift them up on one end, then you're going to end up dragging the other end and damaging it. But if you had a big old axle, you could just carry it like a big ugly trailer. So this one was already cut off. You can see the U-bolts have been cut from before. I hit these with a zip disc here yesterday. I'm going to lift this whole thing up and lift it out from underneath the frame. Then haul it in with a big hunk of I-beam and then start the process of some ugly massive axle for moving houses and things like that. Well, phase 1 complete. Now I'll go pick up a piece of I-beam to put it on. And we'll end up cutting her in the middle. Right here, and instead of being 4 feet wide, it should be 10 feet wide. Very clumsy, but fun. There it is. 10'4" piece of beam. Now it's sturdy enough to carry a sea can for sure. So I think what my plan is to cut that axle right in half and then set the beam on the flat spots, bolt her down, and weld the saddle to bolt to the center so that you got a big spread, and then put the wheels on. I got a set of wheels over here. Well, 3 of the 4. To set it on there, and then we're partway there. Wish I had more ambition. Cleaned up and cut in half. I'm a little surprised at how thick that is. It's still hot, but that's got to be, I don't know, get a tape measure here. What is that? 5/8 of an inch? 25 mil? Pretty thick business anyway. No wonder those axles can take that kind of weight. Now let's see if we can put it onto the flange of the... Part 2 has been sitting in this nonsense for ages and ages. I cut the axle in half. This axle tube is about 5/8 thick. I don't even remember if I made a video of it. I took the brake covers off. I had to take the air pod off the brakes because it won't fit over top of the frame, right? So, not that I was going to put air brakes on this anyway. So now what we have is the axles are bolted onto the I-beam. I'm going to flip it over and weld a piece of steel in there because right now the bolts are just kind of on the flange. They're not all the way encased. Then I tack these on. I'll weld these on so that the axle cannot flex away from this I-beam no matter how much weight. So now we weld it up the rest of the way, flip it over, weld those 4 pins on there. Then you got this 10-foot wide sturdy old beam that you can put any kind of crap on. Yeah, there's the progression. So here's this big ugly. I think well, that's the way it'll take tons of weight, but it's just fairly high. We can flip it over and carry it upside down and put the beams in there. So we welded some blocking in there so you cannot lose your nut out the back. Welded our tubing onto the I-beam and set the brakes. I'll flip it over, see what it looks like on that way, and then it's ready to carry way more than I ever hoped to have to carry. One more thing of the million things that I want to check off the list, I guess. How wide is that? Do we have a tape measure? Okay, so how wide is it? So between, it's got a magnet on it. 6 feet. 6 feet between the beams. Overall length. Just over 14. 14 foot 2 or 3. That's wide enough.
Alright, you're gonna need to grab those blocks out of there, Sterling. Whoa!
Blocking?
Are we gonna... Those...
Do I want to reset and lift it?
Are we gonna puncture a tire going over those?
Until we're clear of the blocking.
What?
We don't want to set it down until we're clear of the blocking. Wait.
What's he gone? Oh, I just broke it apart.
Yep.